Hey, how's it going? Today I want to talk about traveling and adventuring for a budget. We all know things have gotten more expensive these days, and I wanted to talk about my experience with traveling on a budget and just seeing the world frugally. I've been to some amazing places and I haven't spent very much, and I want to share some of my tips. So I like to think about travel costs in 5 sections. Number 1, transportation. This can be your biggest expense, especially if you're flying to a new destination. A way around that is see what is around you locally. That can really cut down on the costs. Try to book flights if you're flying on off weekends or off season. Usually shoulder season like April, May is good, or October, November. If you're renting a car, try to split the cost with multiple people. That will save money. If you are kind of by yourself, what I found is buses are really good. Buses and trains, because those are charged per person, so you can get a better deal that way. Also, if you're under the age of 25 like I am, you gotta pay the freaking young driver fee, which is so annoying. So that's another thing you gotta think about with rental cars. And gas prices. Man, gas is expensive these days. Insurance, things can happen. So ask yourself if you really need a rental car. Number 2 is lodging. Nowadays, hotels can easily go for $100, $150, $200 a night. And you're just there to sleep. Like, okay, and shower. That's nice too. Airbnbs are also expensive. What I found is camping is a great way to stay for free overnight, or very, very cheaply if you need a permit. Campgrounds can have showers and bathrooms. So that's a great way to save money, is camping. And then hostels. Hostels are great if you're traveling solo. I mean, you get a bunk, you get a shower, you get a kitchen, you get to meet great people. So that's a big way you can save money, is camping and staying in cheaper lodging options. Oh man, I'm out of breath. Okay. Number 3, the cost of admission. So if you're traveling, you might have to book experiences like ski lift tickets, or you're going to Disney World. You need to have a ticket to go to Magic Kingdom. And those can cost you several $100 a day. So what I like to do, I like to camp in public land or national parks. Oh gosh, I'm being attacked by plants. I think a national park pass is like $80 and you get unlimited access. So that's a great deal. Yeah, I mean, in general, public lands, the admission is just gonna be cheaper. So try to avoid higher cost of admissions. A lot of stuff you can do for free. Walking around a city is for free. It's funny, I live in San Francisco and I have never seen Alcatraz. I've never gotten tickets for it. So that's probably something you should spend money on. Like, there's a couple experiences you should spend money on to see. For the vast majority, you can just go there and walk around and pay $0 just to see the exact same thing. Maybe you don't get as higher up of a view, or you have to take the stairs, but it's more fun that way. So just like walk around and see stuff for free. Okay, number 4, food and beverage. This can get really expensive. If you're eating out or you're buying bottled water everywhere you go, you can spend a lot of money. So what I like to do, I bring a reusable water bottle and I just fill it up wherever I go. Save a bunch of money that way. Unless the drinking water is not clean, then I wouldn't recommend that, of course. But for the vast majority of places, there's clean water. You can get water for free. Food and drink, or food. Don't eat out as much. Try to cook more food. Hostels have kitchens in them. You can cook food. In case about the same as a restaurant. So yeah, just cook your own food, bring your own water. That'll save you a lot of money. Okay, number 5, equipment. So specifically for hiking and backpacking, you're gonna need some gear, like a tent or a sleeping bag or whatnot. So, and if you don't have that, that's really bad. I mean, you can't sleep outside without a tent or a sleeping bag. You kind of need that to live. So there's some non-negotiables there. You're gonna need gear. Now, if you don't have gear already, you can rent. Like if you're going camping, you can rent gear from like REI or Sports Basement here in the Bay Area, or borrow it from a friend. Facebook Marketplace has really good used gear that you can get. And then in general, summertime is gonna be better. You can get away with less gear. Like you don't need as warm of a sleeping bag or as warm as a sleeping pad or a tent. You can get away with a lot of things. So equipment can be very expensive, but also can be pretty affordable if you know what you're doing. So like I said, try to rent gear, try to look and shop used, and go in the warmer months where you might need less gear. Okay, so now that you know the 5 areas where you can save money on your travels and ventures, what does that look like in practice? So I'm gonna tell you how I went to one of the most beautiful places in the world for a week for right around $700, which is pretty good. I booked my flight to Calgary, so I went to go see Banff National Park. And I booked a flight to Calgary months in advance, got a great deal on my flight, and it was around $300. And I'll put the actual costs somewhere. But that was a great price for the flight, and it was direct. So after booking the flight, that was the biggest expense, really. The next thing was deciding how to get around the national park. So I decided to go with not a rental car because it was like $60, $70 a day. And I was gonna go backpacking in the national park and I wouldn't even use it for half the time. So Calgary has buses from Calgary to Banff for like pretty cheap. It was like this much one way. Saved a lot of money. And so I went that route. So I didn't have a rental car. I just flew there and then I used buses to get around, and it worked out pretty well. For lodging in Banff National Park on this trip, I went with a few friends. So we split an Airbnb in Calgary like the first night. Then we took the bus to Banff National Park the next day, day 2. And then we stayed in a hostel. And then we camped a couple nights, stayed in a hostel again. And then we stayed in a hostel in Calgary the last night. So a mixture of hostels, a shared Airbnb, and then camping. So overall lodging was pretty affordable. You can spend a lot more money in Banff, in that area. So we did a pretty good job of saving money that way. And then, let's see, number 3, admissions. Admissions into Banff. I think you just need like a national park pass or something. I don't know if we actually paid for a national park pass because we took a bus in. You know, we might have gotten in illegally, oops. But that was like free, so that was great. So for admissions, we paid nothing. Just the bus ticket, really. So that was really nice. Okay, for food and drinks, we stocked up on groceries in Calgary. So buying groceries in town is just always cheaper than buying it in a remote area. So we bought our groceries in Calgary at a major grocery store. And we were able to cook at the hostel. All of our backpacking food we had, we brought ourselves. So we didn't really eat out too much. That saved a lot of money. And then for beverages, we're drinking water. I mean, the water there is incredible. It's like alpine lake, turquoise blue water. Like, why would you not want to drink that? And then for equipment on this trip to Banff, I had all my own gear I had already purchased. It was 4 guys, so we shared 2 tents between 4 guys. So we shared a lot of gear. Some of us rented sleeping bags. And again, it was like 15, 20 bucks a day to rent some gear that we didn't have. But a lot of the gear I already had on hand, and that definitely helps a lot. But if I had gone in like January, I would have needed like a winter sleeping bag and like way more expensive gear. So going in the summertime, you can get away with a lot more. Yeah, and that's it. That's how I spent like 700 bucks to go to the most beautiful place on earth for a week. So not too bad if you ask me. Yeah, I'll break down the costs. Like a little disclaimer, prices will fluctuate. They might be more than 700 bucks or less than 700 bucks. It wildly depends, but the core concepts of frugality when traveling still hold true. Everything I talked about is still applicable to traveling and adventuring and hiking and backpacking.